Okay, in this video, I'm going to explain you how to find the roots, zeros, or the factors by using the synthetic division. Let's solve one example in which the polynomial equation, a polynomial function is given as h of x equals to x cubed minus 6x squared plus 13x minus 10. Now here, the first thing is that you can assume any of the number like 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, 3 and so on, and keep writing in the equation until you get 0 as a remainder. Means there could not be any remainder of the equation. If you find that root, it means that is the answer, or that is the root, or that is the factor, or that is the 0 of that polynomial equation. But if you get some remainder, it means keep writing the numbers. There is another technique that is called rational root test. Rational root test. You already have studied about rational root test. You can apply this technique also to find any particular number. So I would suggest go on the easy way and think of a number like 1 and then keep writing and keep substituting that number in place of the x and try to find the number that you get the 0. So here you will get 1 cube minus 6 times 1 square plus 13 times 1 minus 10. So if you calculate that one, you will get negative 2. It means the remainder is negative 2, whereas we don't need any remainder. So now think another number, that is h of 2 equals to, now replace in the equation wherever you have the x by 2. It means 2 cube minus 6 times 2 square plus 13 times 2 minus 10. So if you will calculate it, you will get 0. So see, there is no remainder. It means this 2 is the factor of this equation. So the roots, the first root or the first 0 found is x equals to 2. Or if they ask you what is the factor, so you know you have to change the sign and you can say x minus 2. Okay, so whatever the question comes, you can write it like that. Now after this, you have to apply the second step. You have to apply the synthetic division, because our task is to apply or to use the synthetic division to find the roots. So what you will do in synthetic division, you all are familiar with this method that we only write the coefficient of the x. Like the coefficient of x cube from the bigger to the lowest one. So the coefficient is of the x cube, 3 is the highest degree. So the coefficient over here is nothing. It means 1. Then the coefficient of x square is negative 6. Write on at some place. Then the coefficient of x is 13. So write over here 13. Then there is a constant, that means negative 10. Now what you had found? You had found this 2 as a factor, as a root. So write here 2. Now in synthetic division, the first number we always drop it down, write as it is. Now multiply over here all the numbers which are below the line. You have to multiply with this factor. Whatever the answer come, you have to write over the line. It means 2 times 1 gives you 2. So write it above the line. Now add them. Minus 6 plus 2, it will gives you minus 4. So the number minus 4 is below the line. You multiply it by the 2. You will get negative 8 and you will write it over the line. 13 minus 8 will give you 5. 5 is below the line. You have to multiply 2 with the 5. You will get 10. And minus 10 plus 10 will give you 0. You see, the 0 is coming. That means there is no remainder, and it also tells you that yes, the 2 is the factor of this equation. Now what you have to do, you have to write another polynomial equation with the help of these coefficients, the coefficients which you get over here. Now look at the question. In the question, the highest degree is 3. So in your resultant answer, you will write 1 degree lesser than the question. That means why? Because already you found one factor. So x minus 2 you already found, so you wrote it here. Now the second vector is 1, and since the highest degree in the question was x cube, so you will take it 1 lesser, that means x square. Then minus 4, and after the square comes x and plus 5. X power 0 we don't write, so just write plus 5. Now it becomes so easy to factor mentally or with the help of the calculator. Why? Because it is the quadratic equation, and we have studied a lot many times about the factorization of the quadratic equations. So you have to factor 5 so that the answer is minus 4. So you know that if we multiply 5 times 1, and minus 5 plus 1 will give us the factors of the factors. And if you don't like this way, or calculators are allowed in your school, then you can use the calculators for the factorization. So here x square, so it will be you will have the two factors, that is x minus 5 and x plus 1. Now if the question states that you have to find out only the factors, then leave the question over here. But the question, if the question states that you have to find the roots, then you have, of course, you have to simplify the answers. How you will simplify? The one root you already have written. That means even if you want to solve, you can solve it. How? Let's see here. So here x minus 2, the first root is this one, right? So you will write x minus 2 equals 0. That means x equals to 2. Now the second factor is x minus 5. Okay, so you will write over here x minus 5 equals 0. Bring the 5, negative 5 on the other side. You will get x equals to 5. And what is the third factor? X plus 1 equals to 0. Bring the 1 here. So you will get x equals to negative 1. So hope you understood this question. Here I will also tell you how to do the rational root test, so that if any one of you want to try that technique to get directly the answers, so you can understand. In the rational root test, what you do, you make the constant divided by the coefficient of the highest degree. So the constant, let's suppose it is termed as P, this is called P, and this one is called Q, divided by Q of X. Now here your constant is 10, ignore the sign, and here on this one your your coefficient is 1. Now let's write down what are the factors of 10. So 10 can goes in the table of 1, can go in the table of 2, can go in the table of 5, and also in the table of 1. And here the 1 has only one factor, so just write 1, 1, 1 and 1. Now of course everywhere you will have plus minus roots, because you can have the plus 5 or minus 1 or minus 1 plus plus 1, minus 1 and minus 5 also. So these are the factors you have to try out. For the factorization you have to try 1, 2, 5, 10 such factors to get at least one of the root of, or one of the factor before the synthetic division. Let's solve one more question to understand better, in the better way. So here you have h of x equals to x cube plus x squared minus 17x plus 15. So the first thing, I am trying to write down all the factors which I know. Okay, so I have 15, I have 1. So my p of x is 15 and my q of x is 1. From where I wrote the last constant, and I wrote the coefficient of the first highest degree polynomial. Now I know the factor of the 15 are 1. Here I have 3, I have 5, and I have also 50. Okay, and for the factors of the 1, I am taking only 1. And of course, I will take the plus minus roots. So these could be the possible factors. So let's start from the 1. So we will write here, substitute h of 1 equals to, wherever you have the x, you have to write it 1. 1 cube plus 1 square minus 17 times 1 plus 50. So what you will get, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 15, 17, 17 minus 16, 17 is 0. So you are lucky that you get the first factor in one go. So here you have one factor is, yani you can write it as root, okay, roots or 0, so x equals to 1. Now apply the synthetic division. For the synthetic division, we write the coefficients from the highest degree to the lowest one. So for the x cube, I have written nothing, it means 1. For x square, I have again plus 1. For x, I have negative 70, and then the last constant is 50. Now what factor I found? I found 1. So I will write here, I will divide the whole equation by 1. The first number we write as it is, so it is 1. Now the numbers below the line will be multiplied with the factor, and the resultant we will write above the line. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Negative 17 plus 2 gives you negative 15. Now 1 times negative 15 will gives you negative 15, and 15 minus 15 is 0. Now once you are done, we will write the first factor. The first factor was x equals to 1. We change the sign, that is x minus 1. Now you have to write the factors, the 1, 2 and negative 15 coefficients in terms of polynomial. How do we write? We have x cube, so we will write the degree. We will start writing the degree 1 lesser than the quotient. In the question, x cube is there, so we will start from x square. Here 1, so we will write 1 plus 2x, because we will lower the degrees, and then in the end minus 50. Now you can see it is very easy quadratic equation, so we can just factor it mentally or with the help of calculator. So you have to factor 15 so that you will get the 2. So you have two factors, that means x plus 3, x plus 5 and x minus 3. Okay, because 5 times 3 will gives you 15 and 5 minus 3 will gives you plus 2. Okay, now once it is done, what you will do, you have to write actually not the factors, because the factors are there, the roots. So for the roots, you know x minus 1 equals 0, that means x equals to 1. X plus 5 equals to 0, that means x equals to negative 5. And x minus 3 equals to 0, which will gives you x equals to 3. Write on this side very nicely. So x equals to minus 5 and x equals to 3. Now I hope that you understand this division. Actually, why we use this division method? Because in the previous day we didn't have the calculator, so the mathematicians or the students or the people like you, they try to use the mental maths to find the factors. Now the life has become so easy, we have calculators in our hand. This is this is the era of technology, so we can find everything, or we can solve every question without with the help of the calculator. So I hope that you understand. One or two questions more I will explain in the next part. Keep watching the video, and it will be better if you subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.